Pancho Villa here. I'm Otto Van Bismarck, and we're here to discuss politics. Pancho Villa.
Sink the Bismarck. Hey, 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 hey. I am Rancho Grande.
So apparently, Matt's going as Pancho Villa for Halloween, and I'm going as a Weimar general from the country of Germany for Halloween.
Well, it's pretty fitting because with the amount of inflation, would you say your costume will cost 7 trillion Deutschmarks?
It might. It will not only be, historically looking accurate. It'll be historically accurate.
Yeah, it's a very good. What do they call that? Like it'd be a period piece. And not the bloody. Well, I mean, Weimar Republic was kind of bloody, but not menstrual bloody.
No, different definition of that statement.
Different type of bloody, like Dan's feeling bloody type of bloody, not like my wife is feeling bloody type of bloody.
Not like I feel fresh enough to be riding on a horseback.
Yes, it's not. It's not like Summer Breeze giant douche type of bloody.
Yes. It's not like this happened and I went to go play tennis with Matt.
I would like to draw attention to this $5 masterpiece here. It says Muzzy Braun and the Boys in the Hood. And it's a shittily photoshopped picture of Muzzy Braun, which is Willie and Mickey Braun from Willie from Mickey, or from Reckless Kelly, and Mickey from Mickey and the Motor Cars. That's their dad. They just photoshopped his head onto one of the guys from Boys in the Hood. It was in the bargain rack at the Braun Brothers reunion, and it is awesome.
That is the best concert shirt I've ever seen. The best.
Yeah. My wife found it in the bargain bin, and I could not love her more.
I feel like I really want to put my dad on an album cover.
If my dad isn't on an album cover at this point, like I think I've failed him.
You know what? I have an idea. We should get, since did you hear about the kid who was on the Nirvana cover as a child?
Yeah, I saw a headline. He's suing for sexual exploitation.
Yes. I say we put Tim's face on that shirt because it's pretty accurate and it would be hilarious.
That would also be known as a period piece.
No, it would be called a pud piece.
Is that Smells Like Teenage Spirit, or what is that? Nevermind.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Nevermind okay, Smells Like Tim's Pud.
Yeah. Oh my God, I want that shirt now.
It's so awesome.
We could use the picture of Tim when he lost a bet and had to wear makeup and have all that. Oh, that's such a good idea.
Send me that picture and I will make it happen.
Would you
make it happen?
Could you make it almost like, could you make it CSU green t-shirt too?
Maybe. I'll have to see. I don't know if I'm that tech savvy yet, but I think I could probably make that happen.
Oh God, that's gonna be amazing.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Please
we got a whopping 2 viewers. My Facebook traffic has been throttled like a motherfucker here lately. But thanks to the 2 viewers that are watching, we love you all. Love you long time. Speaking of love you long time,
yes.
Have you heard anything from Kamala here lately?
I heard she's wanting to make sure that we get our Christmas presents on time and or excuse me, ordered early so we don't because there's supply chain problems.
I heard she was experiencing like Havana sickness or that whatever that They delayed her trip to Vietnam or some shit.
So the report, from what I heard, it wasn't that she experienced it.
That's right. It was somebody. Like, is it that embassy in Vietnam or her staff or somebody like that?
Somebody, and she wasn't. They said she wasn't around it, I think, is what I remember. So precautionary.
We think that they caught the Ligma variant.
What?
The Ligma variant.
Like, oh, that's what it's called now. Oh,
yeah.
Man, I feel as dumb as the Taliban.
Oh man,
you got to put that up because that was so good.
Let's see, what is our timestamp there? Mushroom staff. We'll say 5 minutes. 5 minutes in, we'll clip that.
Yes. Oh, that whoever fucking legend. Please tell me about this.
I'm gonna. Oh, it's just it's internet lingo. That people who are skeptical of the Delta variant numbers and whatnot, they made up the Ligma variant, Ligma balls.
Yes. No.
Because they had a Lambda, and then they had a like Delta Chi.
The Taliban guy actually asked that. Did I not send that to you?
Yeah, I think that one was floating around. Yeah, because you know what? The Taliban can eat a dick, first off. Like, I don't want to come off as a Taliban sympathizer. Those guys are fucking awful. But whoever's running their Twitter account is pretty goddamn savvy. Like, I'm not going to lie. They're kind of on the ball, but they did not get the Ligma deal, and they got trolled pretty hard on that one. So
yes, they did.
Kudos to whoever did that. That was pretty good. And strictly from a comedy standpoint, this is not from me as a proud American. The recreating of the Iwo Jima picture, I mean, that's a good troll. I mean, it pissed me off, but I gotta hand it to him. That's a good troll by the Taliban. Like,
oh, fuck those guys. God damn.
I know. Like I said, I have to preface those guys. I hate them all, but that's a good troll. Like,
so can I just put out a point that's been driving me nuts lately?
Go ahead.
So I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but it just kind of drives me nuts. Like, before all this shit happened, everybody was saying the longest lasting war, forever war, blah, 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 blah. We had 2,500 troops in Afghanistan, right? 2,500. We had 18 months where not a single American soldier was killed, right?
Because we had a ceasefire with the Taliban.
But if that's the case, how the fuck is it a war? I heard this today, and I totally agree with it. I don't see Afghanistan when we were there as a war, right? In most recent, I see it as a strategic advantage point that had enemies close to them. And we have strategic advantage points all across the nation, or all across the world. And there were actually people that wanted us to be there, right? So
that's debatable.
So then what the fuck were all the people at the airport?
There were people wanting to get out, yeah. But they also rolled through the entire country in about a month and a half.
Very true. But I mean, but if it was truly a war, 2,500 troops being there were basically stopping the surge. I mean, before everybody, how many people did we have there prior to Trump saying he wanted to get out? Was it around 2,500 still?
No, we had the 2,500 number happened about November. That's when he drew down to 2,500. That before that, it was about 15,000. During the surge that Obama was in charge, that was over 100,000. I mean, this was a full-on invasion, occupation, 20-year war.
I'm just
granted
looking...
the last couple of years was a drawdown, but we spent, depending on what number you use, the Biden administration said $1 trillion. Brown College or Brown University, some program there estimated at 2.62 or 2.26 trillion. Either way you look at it, you're looking at anywhere from $137 million a day to $173 million a day just in Afghanistan.
Or as Joe Biden would say, chump change.
Yeah, chump change. Yeah, that's a day, by the way. At minimum, $137 million a day for the last 20 years that we spent over there. A lot of that, like that 300,000 Afghan national troops number, that was actually more like 50,000 because these commanders took that salary that we were supposed to pay for 300,000. So like 1 out of every 6 actually was a soldier that got pocketed by the leaders who then moved that money over to Dubai and various other places. And yeah, they've got like mansions over in Dubai, funded by me and you, buddy. Funded by me and you.
Okay, you know what? We will go back and forth all night on this. I guess all that aside, we're leaving. I don't believe their U.S. American citizen number. I don't fucking believe it. I think there's more people than 500 there because that fucking number changed every day. I think we're leaving interpreters and people that helped us over there, which is fucking shit. We're leaving.
Yep,
I'm trying to think. I can't remember the exact amount of money in equipment that's being left there, but technically that country has more. That country has more Black Hawk helicopters than the fucking country of Australia. And we can debate all day if we should have been there or shouldn't been there, should be there, shouldn't have been there. But how the fuck do you not start getting these people out if there's such a fucking urgency? Like totally flat-footed, totally unprepared, and a day late and $1 short.
And it's really easy to lay the blame on Biden because he's in charge, and he's in charge. That guy doesn't. For the last year, that guy doesn't have a fucking clue where he's at.
No clue.
But the deal that Trump made said we are out May 1.
Yeah.
May 1, which is the beginning or like the very early in the fighting season over there. So as I think I've explained, I'm not sure if I explained this. So basically they fight spring, summer, and fall over there. They fight right up to the beginning of Ramadan. They take off Ramadan, and then they're snowed in the mountains the rest of the winter. May 1 is really kind of when they kick off the fighting season. That would have been a good fucking time to get the hell out. That was a good withdrawal date. But if we're going to throw blame, Trump had this ceasefire with the Taliban, like we were talking before. 18 months with no American casualties or no American deaths. I don't know about
during that fucking ceasefire. If your plan was to get out as soon as you agreed to that, why the fuck did you not start going or planning or something?
And then back on Biden. Why the fuck did you push back the withdrawal date to the middle of the fucking fighting season? Because you didn't want to hand Trump a win. That's the only reason.
And it's hilarious. Like each one of these, like the numbers, the drawdown date, the decisions, it seems like they start like, for instance, the drawback date. First, it was September 11th. And then they're like, why didn't we think that wasn't a good idea? And so then it goes into August 31st. Like, I feel like I had this image in my head today of Donald Trump. They're like, just a picture of Donald Trump and saying, well, let's see how incompetent I can be today. And Joe Biden's like right behind him saying, hold my beer.
Hold my
like,
beer.
Like yep. That is like, fuck, man.
Yeah, it's a failure on every single front you could possibly imagine. And I don't know if you read the piece that I wrote, but like it was always gonna be that. From 2012, the Pentagon, the intelligence community, and whoever else have lied to either the American public or the president or both about the effectiveness of the Afghan National Army. They've said, it's a well-trained fighting force. People on the ground would have told you completely different story because they're the one fucking training them. But you go back all the way to 2001, December of 2001, we had bin Laden and like 400 of the top Al-Qaeda guys just across the ridge in Tora Bora. And Rumsfeld, Cheney, the old gang said, oh, we don't want to cause an international crisis by sending more troops in to get this guy. So we're going to let him slip away into Pakistan. And then guess what? Oh, we're going to send 100,000 American troops in there and be there for 20 fucking years.
So I heard a Marine talk about the army, the Afghan army. And he argued they were all fighters, at least the ones he was around. He said the big problem is, and this is I think I saw this in some movie about cops and a low income neighborhood. It's basically the US was like the cops and the Afghans are like the neighborhood kids. Like they know you're going to go. Months and months and months before this drawdown, the Taliban and all of them were going around with their messaging saying, hey, I mean, we clamor about wanting to go all the fucking time. I mean, literally all the fucking time leading up. And they said, you know what? You can just remember we're going to be here when they're gone, which is true. And they have no way out. I mean, can't, your likelihood of getting out or your likelihood of having to stay there and dealing with this shit. So it's almost an impossible fucking situation for them. I feel bad for the fucking police. This was always doomed to fail because the United States was going to leave. That's right. That because they were always going to fucking leave, which my views on that. But
and the reason we went there, like, it was a justified cause, and like you even had Ron Paul voted in favor of going in after bin Laden. But
hallowed be thy name.
There was a reason Ron Paul trended for like 2 days on Twitter after this. Because back in 2011, he said, if we don't go out now that bin Laden is dead, if we don't pull out, we will be here for another decade.
Yeah.
He called it. And it's the same thing now. And the part that really worries me, and because do not underestimate how evil some of these defense contractor peoples are. I mean, these fuckers are evil. These are the same people that got us into war, like funded the same people that were fighting Al-Qaeda. We funded and trained them in Syria, and then they rolled back into Iraq after we pulled out there with our weapons that we gave them, the training we gave them, and set up a caliphate. But all these weapons that they left behind, they're going to try. You can already see it. They're trying to use that as another way to get back in, and we'll be there for another 10, 20 years if we go. As bad as it is, this is that's the only way to do it. You just got to get the fuck out. There's no winning that.
Well,
the Afghans have that saying, like, we have all the watches, they have all the time, and they will wait us out.
So then my question to you is this. I mean, that place is going to be, everybody keeps on saying like it's pre 9/11 Afghanistan. I think it's worse because now you have the celebrity of basically they'll spin it as, well, we kicked out the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's going to be a festering just terrorist den that now has capabilities and all this other shit, and still obviously has the will to do damage to the United States, whether we're there or not, what the fuck do you do then? I mean, do you leave it this? Do you leave it to just be a cesspool? I mean, if we are essentially leaving, and people still want to fucking get at us. So, like, I remember early on in the days, they're like, "Oh, this is going to us being in Afghanistan was going to increase attacks," but attacks didn't come, right? And that could be a mirror. That could be a ton of things, right? But we're not there anymore. We are totally out of that place, yet they still want to attack us. Like, you can't drop a nuclear bomb. I mean, you can't.
No, and there's a point to be made that the Taliban never attacked us until we invaded there. The Taliban had nothing to do with 9/11. Yes, Bin Laden was there because they were buddies. Bin Laden had his camp there.
I'm not strictly talking about the Taliban. You have ISIS-K there. You have Al-Qaeda. You also have other splinter cells. And Al-Qaeda is not going to crack down on them because they're trying to hold power, but it's just going to become the cesspool. And I'm not talking about just Al-Qaeda. I'm talking about all of them. ISIS-K, the splinter off of ISIS wants to get at us. They do. So
I have no doubt about that. And are the Taliban bad? Yeah, fuck yeah, they are. They're fucking brutal. But they also live there. ISIS-K, they're from Kyrgyzstan. Al-Qaeda, they're from the Middle East. They're from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, all different Arab countries. Taliban is Afghan. They are Pashtun. They follow the Pashtun Wali code as well as Sharia law. I think they're going to rule that place with an iron fist. Is it going to be brutal? Yeah. Is it going to be worse than when we were there? Yeah, probably. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't. There's
either way.
We better 20 years that we
better secure that southern border.
Shore up shit. Yeah. I'm all in favor of that. I'm all in favor of that. No argument there. But I think we can both say from different points of view, Afghanistan's an utter failure.
And this is like,
and
it's so bad. Yeah. Like, they handled this so fucking bad, and like, it is from the top down. It's not even like the planning or the implementation, except for the troops.
No.
Troops have been tremendous, but
go ahead.
Even from a comms perspective, it is fucking ridiculous. You have Jen Psaki arguing with the guy from Fox News about what the definition of fucking stranded is. You have them saying, we will accept every American that wants to be out of there. You fucking coward. The only reason you're saying wants to be out of there, and then blames people that they didn't heed the warnings of the US government to get the fuck out of here. Are you fucking kidding me? It's not like they can take an Uber home and it's the last fucking Uber, like, oops, we told you so.
Yeah, it's because there was a lot of warning. You pulled out of Bagram Air Base overnight, which strategically is not a bad move if you destroy everything as you leave. Like that last chopper and an airplane leaves, you blow that motherfucker and leave them with nothing. I mean, honestly, and is it going to look bad on the world stage? Yeah, but guess what also looks bad? A bunch of fucking Taliban running around with weapons that we fucking paid for. That looks real bad.
And then, like, I know it's hard to keep numbers, but fuck. Like, if you can keep track of the amount of people you process coming into the United States daily, why can't you track, like, any of these? And And yes, I know like sometimes you only have general numbers, but they're fucking even their general numbers changed from day to day. They
Yeah,
changed.
if
You
you
have
can
no clue.
keep track of Facebook posts to flag for Facebook, how can you not keep track of weapons and actual people on the ground?
And and
Jesus Christ, it's
and they
just a train wreck.
they're talking about like trying to think what like the messaging has been so fucking bad. And like I used you as an example the other day. My friend had texted me something about how just something to the extent of how people are not vaccinated yet. And I brought up this exact example. Like Joe Biden this last 2 weeks has said stuff and then they weren't true. Like he said Al Qaeda wasn't there. It is there.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm like, and you're shocked that these people are skeptical. And like, and then he said, well, the science is there. I was like, yeah, but my wife telling me this, I trust. My wife giving me advice on medical stuff, I trust. Any word coming from on high, I'm like, I'm gonna go ask my wife to see if that's true or not. It's just the
Just
messaging, it's
just look
crazy.
at Fauci versus Rand Paul. You know, the media will be like, "Oh, Fauci owned Rand Paul in this Senate hearing," and then 2 weeks later, Fauci has to eat his words because Rand Paul was fucking right because he follows actual science.
Ugh.
And once again, let's put blame both on Trump and Biden. Why the fuck does Fauci still have a job? God damn.
Sorry, sorry, Burning Daylighters. This Afghanistan thing has just got me fucking disgusted. Yeah. It's almost like in 2020 or 2019. I'm like, fuck, how could I be more ashamed of this country? Joe Biden, hold my beer. Like, fuck,
hey, but man. You know, we are drilling into our troops' head what white guilt is, though. I mean, like that's the important thing we need to worry about.
Like, well, I hate to keep on harping.
1.4 million service people, they know what white guilt is now.
And I hate to keep on harping on this, but another thing, who the fuck is going to want to volunteer for the army? God forbid if anything else happens to the United States and the perpetrators are overseas and we need help, at least in the next 3 years, who the fuck is even going to back us? Because they know we're not going to support anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, we look weak as fuck. I mean, as soon as I heard
and,
the
Lockheed Martin, they made a lot of money though. So I mean, that's cool.
Matt, keep the goddamn corporations out of it and just fucking focus on the fucking actual policy, you son of a bitch.
Well, they make the policies, so it's kind of hard to keep them out of it.
But I mean, we're weak as fuck. It was sad. Like the first thing I thought of after I heard the couple days of Afghanistan is I was like, well, I'm sure Taiwan just feels real fucking
yeah, Taiwan,
secure.
Their buttholes puckered up real big right now.
They're like, wait, you sent Kamala to assure us, and Biden's fucking going crazy, and nobody knows why.
And do you know what Kamala's statement was? that was her official statement.
Oh fuck, man.
But hey, Andrew Cuomo's out, so that's cool.
Hey, by the way, I forgot to ask the Burning Daylight listeners, both live and recorded, if you need a dog Andrew Cuomo has one for you.
Yeah, that's right. He ditched his dog, Captain. Captain's his name. He's a rescue. He's a rescue. Might be a little bit of a handful. He's not perverted. He's just a Labrador.
You know what happened? Captain didn't lick his balls with the peanut butter on it because he found out he wasn't going to be mayor anymore. And he was like,
"Yep,
your usefulness is done."
Yeah. Bye-bye. Ciao, as they say in Italy.
It's not cheating if it's your dog. It's not cheating if it's your dog.
Italian. It's not cheating. It's just Italian.
All right. Well,
you know, the worst part about that is like, yeah, he was a scumbag, it seems like. But there has been no coverage of the fact that he is responsible for the deaths of like 10,000 elderly people in nursing homes. And he tried to cover it up, by the way. And he wrote a book. Oh, but they did take his Emmy away, I think.
Yeah. So, he got an Emmy?
Yeah, he got a daytime Emmy for his news conferences every day.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. He also got like a $5 million advance on his book about leadership.
I knew about that.
Yeah.
He got a fucking Emmy.
Yeah. Yeah, an Emmy. But they rescinded it because, you know, he's not perverted. He's just Italian.
Integrity. That's why.
and yeah, integrity.
You know what? He's going to retire and go start a farm called Integrity Farm.
Integrity Farm. Just nothing but member berries.
That's member berries about being the new mayor of New York. Remember when I grabbed that woman's boob? I remember.
Remember when I forced that state trooper to be part of my security detail, and then I made her sit on my lap?
I remember.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Jesus, that was their hero, man.
Hey,
that was their fucking hero.
Yeah, they were legitimate. Like in the media, they were like throwing his name out there to replace Biden, and boy, you know, I in an alternate universe, that might have been really goddamn entertaining. You know, it might have been really entertaining.
You know, I keep on saying this, and I know where I'm probably jinxing myself, but could have been worse.
Yeah, well, and now like there's a lot of people calling for Biden's impeachment. And it's the same thing like when all the people were calling for Trump's impeachment over like supposedly anti-gay stuff, which if you remember, Trump was the first president to actively run as pro-gay. But
I thought you were going to say that, first gay president.
No, I don't know if he's gay, but he's definitely a
virgin.
Definitely a virgin. All the kids are test tube babies. Yeah, but I was like, all right, so you're gonna impeach Trump for anti-gay stuff, and you're gonna have Mike Pence be the president. Right? And so now everybody's like, Joe Biden needs to be impeached, so we can have Kamala, and she just like. She's going to meet Putin, and she's just going to be like, do not come.
Yeah. It's just, like you said, I feel like there's a cycle that we're in a fucking cycle since George Bush, where it's like example, impeach Trump for something. And then 4 years passes and roles flip. The Republicans are like, "Oh, impeach Joe Biden on this," you know, or like while you were in power, not bashing the guy who's the potential serial sexual harasser And then 4 years later, somebody in your party does it, and you don't say a fucking thing. It's just cycle.
I'm gonna prematurely give my good guys of the day to the Babylon Bee for quite possibly the funniest headline that they've had in quite some time. Let me see if I can find it. They had a couple of good ones, like Mike Lindell dons camel hair coat, eats locust to prepare the way for return of Trump. That was a pretty good one. But the one that really got me was White House announces they've lost Kamala Harris, but they're also not looking very hard for her. that one made me laugh really hard. So that's my good guys of the week is the Babylon Bee.
You know what?
That was.
Let's stick with that one because I remember sending you one a little bit ago. What was it? Like it was. Please hold, folks. We're gonna promote the Babylon Bee here because they do have some funny shit.
Let's see. You sent me.
It was so good.
Family vacation ruined by family. You sent me that one. That was good.
Oh fuck. That is, I can't find it, but it's so true.
Hold special press conference today to announce what flavor ice cream he's eating.
That's what it was.
Yep.
God, I know I keep on fucking hammering on this Afghanistan shit, but another thing, and I know I was listening to Ari Fleischer, who was with the Bush, with Bush too, and he said you can't really blame a politician because he needs to get his message out, and it's politics. But my God, when Afghanistan's going on, you start out the first, what was it? The whole speech was like 13 minutes, 12 minutes. And he starts out with he starts out with the fucking infrastructure, and it's not like the bill's not even fucking passed. Like it's not passed.
Yeah.
Totally. Like you fucking start. And yes, you know what? If he would have kept it to maybe like 30 seconds, like, thanks, Nancy Pelosi, this is what's going to happen, not gloating it as a win, I could get it. But the fucking, just the blindness. And I don't even think it's blindness. I bet his fucking staff said, hammer this point home. There can't be any, there's no repercussions for talking about this for 5 minutes, even though the fucking biggest, foreign policy operation, possible disaster happening, don't worry about that. The fucking gall.
No, nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Yeah, it's
sorry, I didn't mean to bring it back. I'm just fucking fuming. I'm fucking fuming, Matt.
I know. I'm glad you did though, because I wanted to reinforce the point. Like all you veterans, especially Afghan vets, like if you're having a shitty go of it, like remember there is always another alternative. There's another outlet. Call somebody if you need somebody to talk to. I don't know what I can do to help, but if there's anything I can do, shoot me a message. I'm dead serious on that. There's no reason to end it over these fucking clowns.
And if you men and women out there need a shirtless photo, you know who to call. I don't have there's no OnlyFans.
Let's talk about OnlyFans. RIP OnlyFans. They are as good as dead. Talk about blunders. Talk about absolute blunders. I don't know what their percentage of porn is for their traffic, but it's got to be over 90% of their entire user base is there to see some tits, look at a couple buttholes. And now you're not going to allow that? Ooh, man, they are dead. They are bye-bye.
It's like a hardware. It would be like a AutoZone not being allowed to sell car parts, but instead just sell things for the little, fifth grade projects that you used to do in elementary school, and you needed to go to an auto store for.
It is
like
snakes and sparklers.
Yes, you can't. We have all this stuff for fucking cars, but you can only do little craft projects. So I didn't hear what was
you got any what's that now?
What was the legal, like what happened?
There was no legal reason behind it. It was because the payment processors and the banks were frowning upon all the porn. And so, and then also like big investors were shying away. Like at this point, like there were chicks making $1 million a month on there, and like not just one or two, like a lot of them making $1 million a month. And I looked up because I was when I went to Patreon, I was looking up to see what their rates were, and OnlyFans takes a 20% cut of all the funds. So, they were doing fine on money. Financing was a big deal, but I guess the payment processor was. And so instead of just throwing a bird and like going to, either Bitcoin or something, nope, we're banning porn. And that's supposed to start October 1st, I think. By June, I think OnlyFans will be no more.
I mean, Red, we were playing softball,
mm-hmm.
and he summed it up great for me, which is why I don't get this OnlyFans. He looked at me and said, I don't know, I'm not the smartest man, but isn't there a lot of free porn on the internet?
Right.
Like I don't get the concept.
I don't either, but like I just don't get where they're coming from. Like if there's like Stripe or whoever they're using for their payment processor is not going to work with them, just go find another one. The demand is there. Obviously, the funds will be there. Like I don't know, whatever. But
maybe you just sold it off.
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I bet you the Taliban would let you trade a goat or two in lieu of currency.
I kind of want to even
they might let you you could probably sell like literal women on the Afghanistan version of OnlyFans.
Right, it wouldn't be pornographic, huh?
Well, it'd be hard to tell. They're covered most of the way, so who knows? Yeah, that just seems like a really dumb idea by them. Maybe
is Joe Biden consulting for OnlyFans?
Joe Biden is waiting for his invitation to the Playboy Mansion, I think. I think Joe Biden's probably still living in 1973.
Yeah, where he thought all this stuff was a bad idea, but somehow 30, 40 years later, he now finds a good idea.
Yeah, well,
potentially
there was a meme going around that I don't know if it was so much a conspiracy theory and more than just they pointed out the fact Biden has looked extra orange in his last couple appearances, and so like they're trying. The theory is they're trying to equate him with Trump. I think he's going the wrong direction there. He really needs to lean into the feeble old man image and just go straight up FDR, wheelchair, shawl over the legs, fireside chats. I think that's what he needs to do.
Just go full into it and go off gracefully.
Yeah. just steal Rick Abbott's wheelchair and have some little old lady and have some little old lady knit you a shawl and just wheel your way off into the sunset.
Wait, Rick Abbott's a paraplegic?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess they're all talking from like here. Governor wheelchair.
He actually he was like out for a jog and a tree fell on him and it paralyzed him from the waist down.
Man, God don't like you if that shit's happening.
No,
they don't like you.
He really don't. No. All right. So what was this Lindsey Graham deal you wanted to tell me about?
I can't even remember. They were talking about something to the extent that Lindsey Graham is this like ideal conservative in some groups, like he's the fighter and all this other shit. But apparently somebody had said there was a record amount of judges being appointed in some amount of time. I feel like they made this point with Trump, but whatever. And they've all gotten through, and Lindsey Graham has voted yes on all of them. And then they went through some judges that seemed a little bit politically questionable if they couldn't be that they couldn't be partisan or nonpartisan. And basically Lindsey Graham, and I'm sorry, it's been a hell of a 2 days. I sent that this morning, didn't I?
Yeah, but I don't think you mentioned it, but I don't think you sent the article.
Fuck. Yeah. So that was basically just, I can't remember what the other, but it was hilarious because hearing you talk, like, fucking, you're right. Like, he preaches all this conservative shit and then, does
Lindsey
nothing.
Graham's a fucking turd. He's a turd. Speaking of turds who are possibly gay, Jeep calls every Chevy Bolt ever made. Every single one of them.
When you sent me that article, I thought that was some fucking bullshit that you put together. And I was looking at it, I was like, what kind of joke is he trying to make here? I was trying to figure out the joke, but it's an actual fucking title.
I know, and the joke writes itself. Because if anybody's ever seen a Chevy Bolt, it makes the Toyota Prius look like Jason Momoa. I mean, Chevy Bolt is the gayest car of all time. I mean, it is so gay that Liberace would be like, Jesus Christ, what is that?
You know what, though? They have some giddy up to them. I had one at the light. Like, they fucking go. I was amazed.
They're electric.
You just don't know where you can fill up.
If they're there's plenty of room to fill up their big boy. And if they couldn't get any more gay, they apparently were catching fire, so they were flamingly gay. They were very flamboyant. I guess the jokes write themselves. Like they might as well have issued a license plate that just says, "Please put it in my ass," in that car. Like,
so it was catching fire, huh?
Yeah, it was a literal flaming homo of a car.
Oh, R.I.P. Volt. R.I.P.
You can't even make it up.
R.I.P. Volt.
Make it up. Yeah, the Chevy Bolt is no mas. But they, on the bright side, GM said it was not their fault. It was LG for bad flux capacitor. Faulty batteries.
Did they use Duracell? Did they use Duracell?
I don't know.
I don't know enough about batteries.
I don't know either, but yeah. It must have been that Afghan lithium that did it. The shitty ass Afghan lithium is what did it.
The Afghan lithium. Damn it, Matt. I was just fucking getting over it.
I know. I had to do it. Let's talk about vaccine mandates. This shit is creepy as fuck. Like I said before, I'll say again. I don't care if anybody gets the vaccine. I don't give two fucks. That's your decision, not mine. Just as me deciding not to get one is my fucking decision. There's a bill in the House right now calling for vaccine passports for all domestic flights in the U.S. That'll probably pass the House. I don't see why it wouldn't. They, Democrats have a slim majority in the House, and I don't see it getting past the Senate at this point. There's going to be at least a handful of Republicans that will vote against that. But just the fact that it's made it that far should spook the fuck out of everybody. And let me find the actual text of that bill, because it's not even the vaccine part that gets me. It's the last little phrase is
other. What did you? Yeah. What did you
other
circle?
Purposes. Yeah. So it's HR 4980 is the bill to direct the Secretary of Homeland Security to ensure that any individual traveling on a flight that departs from or arrives to an airport inside the United States or a territory of the United States is fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and for other purposes. That is vague as shit, and I don't care who's in power. They will use that little phrase for whatever they feel necessary. That is not a power you can give the federal government. That cannot be allowed to stand.
Well, and as a person who is vaccinated, do I wish everybody would get vaccinated? Yes. Do I believe in it? Yes. Do I believe what my wife tells me about it? Yes. Do I want it against your will? Absolutely fucking not. Mm-hmm. That's your fucking choice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. My body, my choice. That seems to be lost upon the party of my body, my choice here lately.
Oh, speaking of, sorry, I have to, another hypocrisy. Hilarious. We harped on women's rights all last year, and we're leaving all those women there in Afghanistan. That's a mystery.
Even the super woke military now is military leader, I should say, the military leadership.
Like you're.
Have you seen the memes of Mark Milley with purple hair and shit? Those have been pretty good.
No. Here, continue. Yeah. Continue on with your where you were going. Mark Milley, purple hair. Go. You continue
on. No, it's just yeah, like that shit cannot be allowed to stand. That goes against every idea that the country was founded upon, individual liberty. And now, like, you have the president of the United States, arguably the most powerful man in the world, urging, which will soon be requiring or incentivizing corporations, businesses to mandate the vaccine. That is not okay. That's shit that happens in fascist countries. And I'm not going to use Nazi Germany because that's a weak example, but Mussolini did it in Italy. Franco did it in Spain. Now Biden. Well, and we can go back to Trump. Trump was putting pressure on corporations to do things for his political agenda as well. That's not how it's supposed to fucking work. The free market is the free market. The government stay the fuck out. And now they're pressuring companies to implement vaccine mandates. That's not okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean
I don't like it.
I didn't mean to seem. I was
ahead.
laughing in the middle of your monologue, but then I saw the Mark Milley purple hair picture and fucking.
It's good.
It's
fucking good, isn't it? It's really good.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, fuck your mandates. Fuck all of that. I was against the mask mandates because, once again, you can put out guidelines saying, hey, this is what we think you should do from the government. I'm okay with that. Guidelines, recommendations, all that. When you tell me I have to do something, mandate this fucking dick. I don't care. Fuck you.
You know what?
I have a real problem with ultimatums.
Don't Americans traditionally have problems with ultimatums?
Yeah,
like universally.
We used to, anyways. Yeah, we used to.
It's amazing. Like, if they just would have done this, I don't even think it would have been a problem. And this goes to Trump too, if you started some campaign to get doctors and nurses on board to see the information, the data, all that.
Yeah.
And you had a campaign
be transparent with it.
Transparent and so people, not everybody's going to trust the government 100% of the time, but just be transparent with shit and have a program where doctors talk to patients, because let's be honest, like I trust my wife's medical advice over anybody else's pretty much. Those doctors could talk to their family members and their patients. Totally could have been avoided. Not totally could have been avoided, but I think it would have made it so much better if they had some program to promote talking to your doctor. What's your doc say? Because they always talk about base cases are, each case is different. And your doctor knows you. So who would you it's fuck, man.
Right. And going back to last year, Trump should have fired Fauci when he flip-flopped on the whole mask deal. Because you're confusing people. Get the fuck out of here. You're doing a terrible job at your job. Fuck you. You don't have a job anymore. I don't care if you're the smartest man on earth. Your job is to relay the message in a clear, coherent way, and transparent, by the way. But no, you made people sound like they were radical conspiracy theorists for pointing out the fact that there is a weapons grade biolab in Wuhan where this virus apparently originated from. And people like, did it come from the lab? And they're like, oh, no, people are eating bats. You're crazy. We're going to kick you off of social media because you're a conspiracy theorist and spreading misinformation.
Little side note.
You should have been fired more than a year ago.
Little side note. Apparently, they've provided Biden with the report on like origins, and he's read it, and now they're redacting certain sensitive parts for public consumption. Like, like
the origins of COVID-19 are going to be the new Warren Commission. It's going to be, we're going to be 80 years old and people will still be like, is the next president, is Don Jr. going to finally release the report on COVID-19?
Prince Harry and Meghan's great 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 granddaughter gonna release it this
Fuck
year.
them. Why does anybody pay any fucking
I don't
attention to the
know.
royal family?
I don't know.
Like, we didn't have to give a fuck about them since 1812. I would say 1776, but they reinvaded. So like we had to worry about the family. All of 18 after that, we didn't have to give a single solitary fuck about the royal family. So why do we pay any attention to them now? Fuck them. God.
Is it because like there's some big huge media hubs in England? Is that it?
I don't care. They don't have any power in England. They're the biggest fucking welfare recipients on earth.
No, but like the royal family is such an obsession there that they just want to spread their obsession with the rest of the world. Like,
just like colonialism, huh?
Oh, that was not only a dad joke, but a historically accurate dad joke. Damn.
Oh, what a bunch of turds.
Oh, they all
now inbred turds, by the way. Inbred turds. Oh, what good God. Yeah. You had a question about drugs too. Did you remember that one?
I was trying to think back. So, and it's not even like directed towards you, but almost a question towards a libertarian leaning mind.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a huge assumption. Let's say like libertarians, most of them do they want to see do they want to see all drugs legalized? Would you say?
For the most part, yeah.
So, and this is not like a gotcha question. This is seriously kind of thinking process. So what would a libertarian think about if I brought up that the Taliban have or whoever, Al-Qaeda, whoever's there, can only go on because of the selling of drugs? And if that's the case and you want to eliminate the Taliban, if legalizing all drugs is still on the table, how would you deal with entities like that then? Or say the cartels. Like, I'm sure no libertarian wants the cartels to be in existence, right? But how do they reconcile all drugs being legal? But like, I would still think the cartel would still make money off of it. You know what I mean?
Yes, they would, but they're making billions and billions of dollars on it with the drug war still raging. So the basically your average farmer, say your coca farmer in Colombia or your poppy farmer in Afghanistan, you turn them into, I mean, they can grow it legally over there in Afghanistan. I don't know about Colombia. The problem is getting it to the biggest customer base, which is the US. And to do that, you've got to have people that are willing to smuggle it across, i.e. the cartels. If you legalize it, it's no longer like they no longer have to build tunnels. So now you can open it up to competition. Like those farmers, maybe they have some guns, and instead of just shipping their product off to the cartel, there's another, say a less ugly member of a cartel that says, hey, I'll do it for cheaper. And so I don't know, it just opens up the market. Competition always, and we've found out through decades of evidence, prohibition of a substance does not work. There's people in maximum security prisons here in the US that can still get cocaine, heroin, whatever they want. Prohibition doesn't work. All you're doing is putting people in prison for choosing to use a substance. That's all.
Right.
All that is.
So and like, I get that side,
mm-hmm.
but one, in your scenario, you talk about competition, but it would be a violent competition. Like you would have it would. I just like struggle with this because it's like it's the same scenario like with the terrorist groups in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you legalized it, those motherfuckers still want to kill us, right?
Right.
So and they'll still be making money off of it. So it's like it's my kind of my mindset of like, don't, if you do nothing, it festers. You know what I mean?
Well, it's
So there was
already
this question.
festering though. Like that's the point is like we've tried it for 50 years at this point, the drug war. And those cartels didn't pop up overnight. They just got stronger and stronger. Like now they basically run all of Mexico. And all of these migrant problems are fueled by the drug war.
I guess what I'm trying to say, Matt, is I've been watching too many goddamn World War II documentaries. And fucking, I'm afraid Mr. Hitler's going to come back.
Well, I would point to Vietnam. After we pulled out of there, the Communist Party took over, and yeah, it was nasty for a while, but now they actually have the fastest internet in the world. Like your average household in Vietnam has like faster than anywhere in the world.
No shit. South Vietnam.
Yeah. No, like Vietnam's one country now.
Is it? I don't know. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. Vietnam.
They always seem to talk Norse. Yes, it is. Korea. Fucking.
Yeah. North Korea. That's a different story.
You know what? It's not my favorite picture because I think it's hilarious. It's my favorite picture because it's fucking fascinating. Have you ever seen the satellite picture of right over North Korea and South Korea?
Yep.
South Korea is lit up like a fucking Christmas tree, and North Korea looks like the kid who didn't get any presents that year.
Yeah. Well, and if you look at China, say 30 years ago, it wasn't much better than North Korea. But now China's like on the same level of South Korea. Even the communists don't truly believe in communism. The Chinese Communist Party still allows some level of capitalism because guess what? Capitalism makes you money and it makes you wealthy.
I think the Chinese goal is to have authoritarianistic capitalism. They would love that.
Yeah, that's what they have. What they have.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, they believe in power and control, but even they don't believe in completely state-owned means of production. If they did, they would be North Korea.
Because there's no innovation. Innovation comes from capitalism.
Well, there's plenty of innovation under communism, but it's how to root out the people that are not true believers and how to torture them. There's a podcast you should listen to. It's called Martyr Made, and he did a whole episode. It's like a 4-hour episode just on like the famine in Ukraine and like basically like telling people like, hey, yeah, Hitler was a really fucking evil dude, but so not just Stalin, but all of those Soviet leaders, whether it be Russian leaders or Ukrainian or Yugoslavian or any of those Soviet bloc countries, there's some fucking horrendous shit with a way bigger body count than Hitler could ever dream of.
Oh yeah, whenever we talk about it, we get in a conversation about Hitler being the worst, which he was. Stalin was 10 times worse. I mean, just fucking.
Yeah, Mao. Yeah. He was literally 10 times worse than Hitler. They're like their conservative estimate on the amount of people that Mao slaughtered is 60 million.
He did for years.
60 million. And there was a part of that podcast where they're talking about in the Ukrainian famine, like they would send people over to your house and they would shake down your entire fucking house, like sweeping up kernels of grain and taking it away. Like you had no food. And then they started killing your dogs and your cats just to make sure that you had no food. That Yeonmi Park, I think is her name. She's a North Korean defector who was on Joe Rogan the other day. And she was talking about like their main source of protein over there was grasshoppers because there is no food. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-un is like 400 pounds and he's 5'7".
Oh no, remember he lost weight. Remember we were talking about a while back? They're like he lost weight. He lost weight and he still was like a fat piece of shit.
But
he went on that COVID diet.
That's right. Yeah. The communism, like, yeah, there's plenty of innovation. It's just not for any. It's not good innovation.
I was gonna say the innovation I was talking about was like technology and
oh, you're on that point. I just you know me, I'm contrarian. I gotta. It's the libertarian in me.
I know
that out.
Fucking bitch.
But yeah, it's but like I was saying, that mandate shit and the way that people react on both sides of this vaccine issue is creepy. Like there are people like, you know, if you get the vaccine, you're just fueling this, you know, this whole communist agenda. And I don't believe that. The same way that people are like the walkout in Florida the other day, the doctors walking out because they don't want to treat unvaccinated patients. Fuck you. Don't be a doctor then. God damn it.
Well, and I forgot, I heard something, I can't remember who said it, but does that mean they're not going to treat people who don't wear a seatbelt?
No, because that's not a politically divisive issue right now. So that doesn't matter. This is another failure on the messaging thing, including Trump, as there has been almost no talk about strengthening your immune system during this whole thing. Like that's more important than the vaccine because that helps your just overall health. Stay active, get some sunlight, don't eat a bunch of bullshit, and don't be a fat piece of shit. And you'll be a lot more likely to survive all of it. There's some people that are going to have conditions that put them at risk. That's going to be inevitable, but we're the fattest country on earth by a long shot. And that leads to so many goddamn health problems.
I was wondering, like, I think you and me were about the same during COVID. I probably drank the most I have in a while during COVID, and usually excessive drinking leads to like immune system being down. I wondered, I don't know how you would measure this, but I was wondering, like, and this might be my fuck, I'm gonna start a conspiracy theory. Fucking drinking killed all the people. But
probably it didn't help by any means.
Damn it. Sorry, my dog is, get through the pumpkin patch. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Get out of the goddamn pumpkin patch. Damn it.
Oh, I stepped on something. Oh, hope there's not a hole in my foot. Okay, there's not. Okay, I'm back.
Did it
folks.
Catch on fire? Did you have one of those faulty batteries?
No, this is like gonna sound like the old. I'm such a fucking old fart now. My dog constantly runs through my pumpkin patch and destroys my fucking plants because he's looking for rabbits. So old man Ellis had to get out there and tell him to get the fuck out of there.
Oh, I shot a rooster with a pink BB gun the other day. My wife is a crazy chicken lady now. We've got upwards of 20 chickens. I don't know. We have so many fucking eggs. It's not even funny. But last spring we hatched out like 13 chicks, and there was a bunch of roosters in there. We got rid of a couple of them. We still have 3 younger roosters, and 2 of them were kind of just free ranging it. We've got a couple different coops, but 2 of them were just free ranging. Caught one, no problem. The other one is now on high alert. Like, that fucker will not let you get anywhere near him. The first one I caught with a net. My wife.
I picture you like that scene in Jason and the Argonauts throwing your net into the sea, fucking, then yelling, "Ah, Sparta!"
Kind of, except it was a little fishing net, and so like, and typically the chickens, like when it cools down at night, and they'll go to roost, and then they just like, they're pretty easy to catch then. Not this little fucker. Like, he is on high alert, and like, it was pretty chilly the other morning. It was like 40, 42, 44 degrees, something like that. And you'd think he's not going to be moving fast. Man, he heard the back door shut, and he was fucking moving. But anyway, the whole point of it was, my wife's got these like half whiskey barrels that she filled up with potting soil and put flowers and shit in there. And this rooster is just tearing the shit out of them. So she wanted to get him pinned up. And it's just this one rooster that's left, and I haven't been able to get close enough to him. And if I do catch him, like, he's probably going in the cook pot. But instead, we got a little. My father-in-law bought a pink BB gun for my daughter, and it's leaned up against the back door. So I was just leaning out the front door, just popping this. I hit this fucker about 6 times.
It's just like, you ain't fucking with me today.
No. And you know what? I don't think he's been back in those whiskey barrels since. So
he sounds like a smart chicken.
He's a fucker, but he's not dumb. I will give him that.
You need my Red Rider.
He is the Taliban of roosters. He is not dumb, but he is a real piece of shit.
It's a real piece of shit. Does he have a name? Fucking. He does now.
He does. Yeah, just real piece of shit. I don't know. My kids named him, but you know how that goes. So I don't know what the name is, but
changes like 5 times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got a horse named Rainbow Dash because my dog was really big into My Little Pony there for a minute. So
it's it could have been either that or Volt.
Yeah, Chevy Bolt. That might be my next horse name. I'm kind of running out of Lonesome Dove names to give my horses, so Chevy Bolt. If I have a real just flamboyantly gay horse, I'll name him Chevy Bolt.
Can you name one of them Tim's Pud?
Just TP.
Yeah,
Tim's
and
Pud.
Yeah, and
old TP.
You know, just yelling at Tim's Pud all day.
I could do that, Tim's Pud. All right, so
we always joke, man. If I ever had a business,
smells like Team Spearin with Tim's makeup face on it. I can make that happen.
Smells like Tim's Pud.
Yep, smells like. I'll have to work on the text, but I think I can make that work.
Oh my god, that'd be so good. Well, I gotta say one thing. So my boss, the reason I've been out, we've been doing Powell, all this, but my first boss, Brett Weaker, probably one of the smartest political minds She was good at her job. She taught me everything. Wouldn't be working where I'm working today. Passed away at fucking 39.
No shit.
Fucking crazy. Great one. She was good. I know everybody thinks all political operatives are pieces of shit. As I'm sure you listen to me. Mostly. Well, just you could say, I'm a half piece of shit, but I'd be a piece of shit either way if I was involved in politics. Mm-hmm. But she was one of the good ones. She's not some of the fucking hacks now. So, yeah, Britta Weaker, fucking legend, smart lady, fucking died at 39. Believe that shit?
From what?
I don't know, man. I took her to the hospital or to a doctor's appointment like 2 months ago, and everything turned out like they couldn't find anything. She wasn't eating, was losing weight. She had high blood pressure, and I don't know, man. Like, I haven't heard anything since. I mean, they said, well, and I didn't even think of this. They said, so they had to do an autopsy, and the results should be back in 10 days. But who knows, like, how busy the autopsy people are.
Yeah.
Whether it be the COVID stuff or, excess crime, who fucking knows? But yeah, I have no idea. But
yeah,
she was good. Here's the B-dub. Pour one out for the Brenna Weaker. Pour it out.
So. Yeah, that sucks. No, I just want to say again, like, all those vets out there, like, there's other outlets. Don't fucking end it like that, man. You guys did your job.
Yeah.
It's the leadership and the country that failed you. Honestly, that's that's the thing that really fucks me up is like there's so many of those guys that they're just pawns of war, and all these fucking snivelly bastards like Lindsey Graham, who's never seen a war that he doesn't want to go fight. Well, he doesn't want somebody else to go fight. That fucking jagoff. Yeah, he's got his military service credentials, but he was a fucking officer, lawyer in the Navy, I believe. Yeah, you fuck you like that. The people like that are just giant pieces of shit, and they're the reason we get bogged down in these things and we don't win them. That's whether we can have the argument all day long whether we should be there in the first place, but when we get there, we got to go balls out and win the motherfucker. So we don't have shit like that happening. We don't drag out for 20 years with nothing to show for it. And having, I don't know what the number. It used to be 22 veterans a day committing suicide over here. I don't know what the number is nowadays, but like that shit's unacceptable.
It always makes me cringe when like a senator or congressman's on a news channel and they tout like him being in the military, and then like the bylines like, but they're a JAG officer, like they were a lawyer in the military. I I kind of cringe. I'm like, and them touting it. Like, yes, you can tout you being a lawyer, but are you really like my cousin who was a door knocker in, I can't remember if he was Iraq or Afghanistan? Like, are you really kind of that? Are you really the same?
You're not. And it's same thing with Adam Kinzinger. Like he'll talk tough about his service record and then fucking cry over the January 6th insurrection. Fuck you, buddy.
And don't get me wrong, the world needs lawyers. There's good lawyers, just like there's bad doctors and good doctors out there. But
No, I posted a video from Jeremiah Wilbur, who was he's a former Green Beret, and he he posted a reaction video actually when we were coming back from Idaho. And he was like, yeah, we're ready to go back. But like all you motherfuckers on Capitol Hill and the Pentagon, like you're coming with us. Like don't vote these fuckers in so you can make money for your lobbyist buddies in the defense contractors. No, if we're going over there, if you vote for it, you better be ready to fucking fight. Like that shit is and all these generals that just fail upward, they make all the wrong calls, but yet they still somehow get promotions. And then when they retire, they get a cushy job at fucking Raytheon, Lloyd Austin. God damn it. Like that's the problem with the entire goddamn system.
Well, and it's so I don't know. I was watching Fox News and they brought up a good point, but I was wondering kind of so they mentioned that they said Joe Biden was in charge of the Iraq withdrawal, which was not very
ideal.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, well, is it kind of the same thing like Kamala Harris? Like, did Barack Obama really put him in charge of it? No. And was he the final say? Almost like deflecting responsibility away from Obama, but still, the final word was Obama. But this is the same guy that may have had a decent hand in that. It's like, fuck, good point.
It's the same cast of characters from the Obama administration. Jen Psaki was State Department spokesman before she was press. Like it's all the same shit. Just same shit, different pile.
I haven't been able to stand Jen Psaki since those days. I think she's really good. She's a great arguer, but to be press secretary, you can't just argue. You also have to come off as somewhat likable. Yeah. Like not the worst thing a press secretary
look who the vice president is.
The worst thing you can do as a press secretary is somebody who comes off as condescending, because you're not always going to be in the right and you will have to shovel shit. Mm-hmm. And if you're always condescending, it just adds to the fire of whatever's going on.
Well, like the main point of all of it is like the people at the top are so fucking out of touch with everybody. Joe Biden, like I said, I don't know what year he thinks it is, but he's living in his own reality because he has fucking dementia. Kamala Harris, I honestly thought there was nobody less likable than Hillary Clinton until she started speaking. And like Mark Milley, when you should have been focused on getting people out of Afghanistan because we had a peace agreement with the Taliban. No, you're talking about critical race theory and white guilt, and talking about how that's important in today's military. Fuck off, man. Like you should be stripped of all your rank, all your pension, and go find a job at McDonald's or somewhere. Like you don't get your cushy, board member job at Boeing after you're done. No, you bungled this shit for years and years and years, and you keep getting promoted. David Petraeus, there was like he was getting his dick sucked when he should have been figuring out what the fuck to do in Afghanistan.
Whoa. Like, let's be honest. It's hard to concentrate on anything else if your dick's getting sucked. That's sorry.
True.
And
that's true.
When was the last time you refused getting your dick sucked? That'd be zero.
Yeah. I have to go back because I there have been a couple that I refused. With good reason, by the way.
You fucking prude.
With real good reason.
Oh, was it because of Austin?
No. Thankfully.
Okay.
He never offered.
There's an exception.
I I was always worried that might happen, that like he might offer, and he's a cool guy. I didn't want to, like, you don't want to end a friendship on that one. I mean, like,
right.
So like that's an Afghanistan situation there. That's a no-win.
Austin was a trier. He
Uh-huh.
was a trier.
Yeah, that's a no-win situation there.
Dear God. Oh, yeah.
You don't want to be a dick, but also just no, I'm good, buddy. I'm good.
Can we? I never thought I would give the "Can we just be friends" speech.
Yeah.
Austin, I like girls.
Now,
okay.
Yeah. It's not gonna happen.
Not gonna work here anymore.
Not gonna happen. What's the deal with the Broncos?
Oh fuck.
Who's the quarterback?
So Teddy Bridgewater was named quarterback of your 2021 Broncos, which, like, I get why.
Fits the pattern.
I get why, because Vic Fangio's job is on the line, and Teddy Bridgewater has the highest floor by far. Well, not by far. I mean, yeah, and that defense is really good.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. No. And B, I think Drew Lock would give him a better shot of. I think he has a higher ceiling, but he has a way lower floor.
Oh,
and so it's so, like, if you put Drew Lock in there, you basically find out that either A, he's the guy, or B, he's not the fucking guy. Let's start over.
Hey, let's switch this over for Patreon real quick.
Okay.
And so everybody else, thanks for tuning in. This has been a doozy of one. So
I'm sorry, Burn Daylight. I'm just very upset right now. Talk amongst yourselves.
And move your ass. We're burning daylight.
I don't want to talk about it. Burn the shit out of it.